Hey everyone, how's everyone's night? Hey everyone, how's everyone's night going? My night's going pretty good. Sorry it took forever to do this. I was uh on Saturday the show didn't end till 10 o'clock, so it was too late to do a video. And then on Sunday I went to a Thanksgiving dinner. So all my friends went out and I went out as well. So I didn't have a chance to do it. And then Monday I had to do some household chores and do some stuff around the house. So, and now I finally rewatched it again today, took the notes, and now I'm ready to do this. All right, let's go. Hello, Jared. Let's see here. Go to my notes. Turning point. What the fuck? Go! All right. Turning point kicks off with Rohit Raju and Raj versus Finjuice. A solid way to kick off the night. What a great match and a great win for Finjuice. It was honestly a great match. I was disappointed that Decay was taken off, but Matt Stryker and D'Lo told us at the beginning of the broadcast. This is on the Countdown show, by the way, the free show that was given to everyone. Decay was whisked off to Wrestle House, so they were replaced. I didn't really understand that. I don't know if that was actually true, or they just were filming things for Wrestle House, and Rosemary and Havoc were done taping the stuff for Wrestle House, and they were able to make the match they had later that night. I don't know. It didn't really make sense to me, but it worked, I guess. But Finjuice looked great, pinning Rohit, Raju, and Raj, so that was good. So they got some momentum. Up next is the Digital Media Championship, Jordan Grace versus Chelsea Green. It was an awesome match, and you got it, and we all got it for free. That was a fantastic match. Jordan looked great. Chelsea looked great. It almost like Chelsea was going to win. She put a few good offense on, and then Jordan powered through it and overpowered her. But it was a really great match, and I've rewatched it like 3 times now. It's that great. Up next, Ace Austin versus Chris Saban. Very fun match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Fulton got involved. It almost looked like Ace was going to win, but Ace took time to put on the I beat Chris Saban shirt, and that gave enough time for Saban to counter the fold into the Cradle Shock DDT. Yeah, that was a great match. Up next, VBD versus Heath and Rhino. An awesome match. It was great. VBD won the match, but Heath and Rhino looked strong. Yeah, I was confused about this one. I really thought Heath and Rhino were going to win because Heath is back. Rhino's back. I figured that they would have this moment to officially beat VBD. But VBD won, so I don't know where they're going with this, but I'm excited. Up next is VSK versus Rich Swann. Brian Myers had an injury, so the Learning Tree is replacing him, representing VSK. VSK was representing the Learning Tree, killed it that night, but Rich didn't make it easy. Very impressive, great match. Rich Swann with a valiant victory. VSK put up a hell of a fight, though. That was great. Up next, Morsi versus Matt Cardona. This match was awesome. It could have gone either way. It looked like Matt was going to win. The referee was hit. Morsi was down and out of nowhere. Moose speared Matt to hell. What the hell? And it gave the opportunity for Morsi to win. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Moose interrupted Matt Cardona's match, and yeah, I don't know. Seems like as soon as Matt Cardona gets a little bit closer, someone's always bringing him back. Up next is the Knockout World Tag Team Championship match. Decay challenges the Inspiration. So far, the best match of the night. It was really great. The Inspiration came out with with the best gear that night. They had like Hot Rod Flames leggings, biker crop tops, halter tops, my bad. And they looked absolutely great. Looks like they've pulled off another Britney Spears look. So far, the best match of the night. That was awesome. It looked like the K was going to win, but the Inspiration pulled out some impressive moves, and the Inspiration retained. Yeah, there were some very innovative, impressive moves that the Inspiration did, and I can't name them all, so you're going to have to go back and rewatch it. Up next is the X Division Championship. Steve Macklin versus Laredo Kid versus Trey Miguel. This match was fucking nuts. But the ending was interesting. Trey Miguel had both pinned Macklin, had both Laredo Kid and Steve Macklin pinned. The ref was counting 1, 2, 3. Macklin kicked out at 2, but Laredo stayed for the 3. So he retained the title, but he didn't pin Macklin. And Trey Miguel was kind of pissed off about that because technically Steve Macklin can claim he hasn't been pinned. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. Up next is the Knockouts World Championship match. Mercedes Martinez versus Mickie James. Wow, what a great match. Both ladies freaking killed it. Mickie James won, but didn't have a chance to celebrate it because Deonna just came out and ambushed her and made her statement that she hasn't forgotten about Mickie, and she challenges Mickie James at Hard to Kill. Later, we go back to Scott D'Amore and Gia Miller, and Gia Miller asks Scott if Deonna challenging Mickie James at Hard to Kill is official, and he said yes, and then he also said, and if Deonna wins or Mickie wins, they will have a person waiting for them because at Hard to Kill, the Impacts will be in the first time ever Ultimate X match. That's pretty freaking awesome. And if I were to say who I'd want involved, it would be Taya, Lady Frost, Alicia, Jordan Grace, and Chelsea Green. And Tasha Steelz. That'd be a great fucking Ultimate X match, and I am excited for it. Up next is the Impact World Tag Team Championship match. The Bullet Club versus the Good Brothers. Really, really fun match. The Bullet Club almost had it. They were robbed at the last second with a roll-up and a grab onto the tights, but the Good Brothers retained. This shirt rides up in the back. After the match, the D'Lo and Matt Striker are discussing future shows. They announced that in December they're having the Throwback Throwdown. So IPWF from two years ago? Was it 2019? Or was it 2018? I think it was 2019. So the IPWF is coming back, and we got a whole new roster to play with. So it's going to be great. But they didn't get to explain much because Josh Alexander unexpectedly walked out to the ring, and he was basically, well, I have it done. Well, look at this. Josh Alexander is coming out to the ring. He says he's angry about being left out of the title picture. He's angry that he's dressed in street clothes at Turning Point, and he's angry he's not facing Moose for the World Championship tonight. He goes on to say he'll accept for what it is, and he'll be watching the main event ringside. So as soon as he walks away, no, he doesn't walk away. As soon as he's in the ring and he's done talking, the lights turn off and the video screen flashes, and on the video screen it says Jonah, which is Bronson Reed. He doesn't come off the entrance ramp. He comes he slides in the back of the ring. He just completely takes down Josh and then performs three jumping sentons on his chest, one jumping senton on his back. Then he goes to the top rope and lands a splash on Josh. The refs and security tried to hold Jonah back, but they were instantly pushed off. They were fought down. Jonah threw the security guards at other security guards. It was great. So as soon as he was done, tried to hold Jonah back, but to no avail, and Josh is coughing up blood. D'Lo and Matt Striker discussed the possibility that he may have internal bleeding. Security tried to hold Josh is coughing up. He walks out of the ring and goes up the ramp, and he keeps looking back. As soon as he gets to the top of the ramp, he stands there for a good 15 seconds. And he stares down at the ramp, and he goes back, looks, and he turns around in a huff and starts steamrolling back to the ring, jumps back on the top rope while the security guards and the referee are checking on Josh Alexander. Jonah comes crashing down on Josh, and the referees only had a split second to avoid being splashed on themselves. That was freaking nuts. I don't know what they're doing with Josh Alexander, but if they're making him fight for this and make him hungry for this, and I think we're leading towards a good fucking fight between Moose and Josh Alexander. It's going to be a great match. Up next is the main event, the Impact World Championship, Eddie Edwards versus Moose. This was an absolutely violent brawl. Ladders, chairs, tables, kendo sticks, steel chains. Absolutely crazy. A sunset flip onto the ladder from on top of a ladder. And then while Moose was at capacity with that, Eddie Edwards decided to do some ring decorations. He stripped off the padding, stripped off the labels, stripped off the ring ties, and he pulled back the covering and showed the wood. You know, like in that match the LAX and the OGs had with the just plywood. It showed that. And meanwhile, for a good 2 seconds, he was trying to do the float up power bomb to Moose, but Moose recovered and overpowered Eddie, and then took him down with a clothesline, and he landed hard on the wood. And then he picked Eddie Edwards up and did his Uranagi, where he grabs a body and just slams it down, and he slammed it hard on the plywood. Eddie felt groggy, and then after that, Moose did the whole no jackhammer needed and won the match. Absolutely fucking nuts. A great show, though. Definitely one to rewatch or reorder, or if you missed it, definitely one to just go out and drop $10 on Fight TV and just watch. You don't need to subscribe, or you can just do the $5.99 or $4.99 on YouTube. It was a great match, a great night, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was great. Now to read the comments, if I can actually read them from this distance. They're all by Jared Woods. Hi, Cody. Jonah Rock versus Josh Alexander, possibly at the tapings. Moose versus Matt Cardona for Impact World Championship, possibly. Tegan Nosh should be in Impact Wrestling. Yeah, I can see that. Trey Miguel versus Steve Macklin for Impact Championship at Hard to Kill. That's probably what they're going to go. A Knockouts Ultimate X match sounds awesome. Good Brothers versus Heath and Rhino for Impact Tag Team Championships at Impact Hard to Kill. Gunner should not. No. keep that controversial dude away from Impact Wrestling. He has major heat, and he has major bad PR on social media. Do not bring him to Impact. Jonah Rock versus Moose for Impact World Championship. Moose versus Sami Callihan in a no rules match for Impact World Championship. Eddie Edwards versus Jonah. Why do you keep saying Jonah Rock? Is that his last name? Because he just was Jonah on Impact. All right. Well, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for Thursday when I discuss that night's show. And it will be a fun show because Wrestle House returns. I love Wrestle House, and people can hate it all they want, but it's something Impact does, and they do it great. No one else can touch them in that department. All right, guys. Good night.